actually started off as like accessories, like knitted accessories. I like to knit and crochet and macrame and do all that fun stuff. So that's how my company actually started. And then it started kind of growing a little bit. I got into making crochet earrings, which is kind of what pushed me into like wire wrapping and just doing some other crazy things with jewelry. Most of what I make is unique. I try not to duplicate much. Some of my recent stuff is duplicated, but even then, it's still unique because of the nature of the product. But all of my crochet earrings, the macrame earrings, anything that's knitted, is all unique. So I try not to make the same thing twice. So yeah, I don't have like a fancy showcase like Tawapa does
It's
to show
okay.
off.
But you're
I
in your
do.
beautiful studio. You should tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, my studio's looking all right. It's looking pretty cute these days.
I
I
love
am at
those
work, yeah,
walls.
so I apologize if the phone rings, but yeah, it's been crazy juggling a new studio and the jewelry company. I'm in many ways kind of glad that I did not have to vend at conference this year because it would just like the studio and the company, it's just a lot. So
Mhm.
I'm a lot more prepared for next year. I'll be bringing twice as much jewelry to conference. I have a lot of new terrarium designs, which I will not be showing you today because
Aw,
it's a surprise.
aw.
But I have some stuff to show. Um,
I love those
and
terrarium pieces. They're so cool.
what?
I said I love those terrarium pieces. I think they're so
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah, I'm wearing a pair right now.
Oh,
These
look
are like
at
my
that.
little mini globes. They're like little bitty guys for
Yeah.
those people that don't want the huge honking ones. Or when you have huge ears like me, those big ones kind of hang down to your boobs,
Yeah.
and it just looks kind of silly. I mean, and to me, some people like that, go for it. Um, I don't have any terrariums with me today, but I will show some pictures. I do have some crochet stuff. I have been working on some new crochet designs, believe it or not. Let me flip my screen here. Here we go. These aren't the new designs, but I just have some pieces to show if anyone was interested in looking.
Oh
This is
yeah.
an old design that I don't really make anymore. Most of the time I do this style. So it's got, I don't want to touch it too much without a glove on, but it's got like a clasp style so it like doesn't fall out of the ear.
Oh, that's
I've
smart.
also been making these. These are like, oh, come on, focus, focus.
Ooh.
It's not going to focus, of course not. Oh, there we
Why?
Usually,
go.
like the
Whatever.
prettier of piece of jewelry is, or the more bling it has, the harder time a camera has seen it. You know.
Right? Yeah, so I've been experimenting more with that with like some beadwork. And I've got a couple other pieces in here too. These are some older kind of designs that I don't really do anymore, but I still have a few kicking around. Some people really like them. Um, I have
We
been
sold
doing
quite a few
some
of those
bead
at our
stuff.
studio. I think our clients really enjoyed them, the ones that we were able to get our hands on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I know that you guys have always picked up a few things from me at conference, which I've always
Well,
appreciated
I
that.
try to, but unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say it's unfortunate. It's great. The fact that your stuff is so unique and so many one-offs that it's like as soon as those expo doors hit, like if I don't get over there and snag the cool stuff from KO, like it's gonna be gone before I ever make it over there.
Mhm.
So you really got that exclusivity, kind of like that Kanye status with your jewelry, you know, where like those drops hit and it's gone. So you better get it if you want it. So I like
It's
that.
it's crazy. Like I never thought my company would ever be like that. Like I never considered my stuff to be that cool. Because
None
there's
of us think
so
we're as
much
cool as
like
you.
other cool stuff on the expo floor. Like, and I know that my stuff is very different than the norm. So like I never thought it was like, I don't know, that exciting. And people have always found it very exciting. I first started selling my stuff at the conference at the Leroy booth, because
I
I used to
remember.
work the Leroy booth. And Terry would let me sell, like, at first I was only doing the wire wrap and the crochet stuff. But as my company just started growing, it was actually Terry that kind of pushed me into trying to do my own thing. Like, he misses that. Like, I mean, I miss working for him, and he didn't want to lose me, but like expanding into getting my own booth and like just doing my own thing has like really made my company kind of take off. And it's crazy. I do have some pictures of terrariums if people want to check them out. These are my most popular thing right now. People can't get enough of them. When I sell them at conference, they are gone within a couple of hours.
Oh yeah.
Even last year, I brought twice as much stock and I still sold out in the first few hours. So
That's incredible.
this
I still
year,
haven't
I'm
seen a
bringing
customer pair.
twice as much as last year. So I don't know.
So it'll all be gone in 3 hours this time.
Right?
Maybe quicker.
I am also doing a sale. I don't generally sell my stuff to the public. It's usually just to piercers at the conference. But I will be selling a limited run of terrariums coming up in the next week or two. Um, it's very limited. I'm not going to say how many, but less than 20 pairs. So
We'll take
keep
5.
an eye out on my page. I'm not taking special orders. I am not holding anything for anyone. It's a first come, first serve basis. And I'll be making the announcement on my Instagram page, which is just Uzu. It's UZU_organics for anyone who wants to check that out.
Excellent.
I'll share some pics. How do I? Oh yeah, I use Zoom all the time, and I'm still a mess.
On the
Excuse
slide
me.
scale, that's why.
You honestly have some of the most unique materials in the whole industry. And I think that's probably why, your collections move so fast on the floor, because we've never seen anything like it from anybody else.
It's true. Oh, those
Oh,
are
thank
beautiful.
you.
I love that
Yeah,
teardrop
so
shape.
this is a newer style. I first initially only started out with teardrops, but this is more like a pointy boys is what I call them because I couldn't think of a better name. The lower pair is actually a glass that is purple. Um,
Kind of
and I do have some other colors of glass that we're working on this year. All my glassware is custom made from Glassware Studios, by the way, who I think is a part of this vendor Splendor today.
They are.
Maybe.
They'll be on here a little
Okay,
bit
yeah.
later. Yeah.
So Ryan is the one that makes my glass for me, but don't try to get him to make it for you because he won't. Don't do it. I'll show y'all some more stuff here. So yeah, these are just like the terrariums. Oh, here's another. This is the purple. Unfortunately, I
great.
only had 2 pairs of these last year, and they were like nabbed up faster than anything. I could not believe how fast those went. So I want to try to have more this year. And then these are, God damn it, phone, stop.
Honestly, plants are really on trend right now anyway. Like all of the plant groups I'm in are just blowing up. Like there are thousands and thousands of people that are just in love with houseplants and gardening. And
Yes.
I mean, these are so attractive to that clientele because they can't really express their love for plants in any other way.
Right. And I make a lot of terrariums at home, like big glass domes and things like that. So one day I was just like inspired. I had these like smaller kind of pieces that I was putting like a little fern in, and I don't know, like it just like clicked in my head. I was just like, how can I make this into an ear weight? Like how can I do this? And I was working with someone else at the time, uh, and then I was kind of I was trying to like get some ideas out of them, but like the creative process with these was not easy because they're not an easy thing to create. So once I started working with Ryan at Glassware, he had some great ideas too. and we really vibed well together. And he's the perfect person to make my glass for me, because he is also creative and has all these wonderful ideas, and will also tell me if he can or cannot do something, because I've definitely drawn him some things and I'm like, do this, and he's like, I can't do that. But I'm still trying, so if you're listening right now, sorry. But yeah, so I do have some new designs coming out hopefully for next conference. I'm doing some, I'll talk about a couple of styles. I don't want to give too much away, but one is going to be almost like a pendant style, so I can even attach an 18 gauge hook to them. So they'll be universal for, unlike these where it's just the hook is just one size. These will be able to have a metal hook or a brass hook or whatever. They can attach to a spreader hook, anything like that. So I'll have some globes, I'll have some flatter type of pendants. And I'm also trying to work on maybe a spiral design. With the pointy ones and the teardrops, I am going to be collaborating with someone. I don't want to give too much away, but we're gonna have some like serious gold drip on these terrariums and chains. Terrariums with chains, like that's just like a piercer dream.
Right.
Like, how can you become any more piercer? A terrarium with chains.
And one black arm.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty ridiculous. I've also had some ideas. I have not worked on this design yet, but I'm hoping to have a couple prototypes maybe for conference, but a septum piece that is a terrarium. So yeah, it's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it, but I'm gonna try to make it happen.
Make
So
one.
I hope that we can at least have a prototype or two. It'll be pretty small, but I'm gonna try to figure it out.
So can you tell us a little bit more about these terrariums and like the maintenance and stuff? Like basically you just have a little live piece of moss, right? And you don't have to do anything to it?
So I do have two different types. I have live moss and I have a preserved moss. I like to use the preserved moss more because it does last longer, but it still needs a little bit of maintenance. Even though it's preserved, if you store them in sunlight, it does turn brown. So you can't like have them in sunlight and you can't water them. The great thing about these types of terrariums is that they have a little hole in the back. And so they're able to collect like the air from the atmosphere, and that is kind of what they live off of. So that is great for the live moss, but for the preserved moss, again, can't store it in direct sunlight. But the great thing about the preserved moss is that you can keep it in a closed container. So I do make some terrariums that have like cork tops. I glue the top in so you can't open it, or it doesn't like fall out of your ear. But I have thought about doing some enclosed type of terrariums with ferns, like live ferns. And that would have to be a cork style piece that would definitely need more maintenance. You couldn't store it in direct sunlight, but you would have to spritz it once a month or so, because it's only going to be able to last so long. But with those, it's great too, because you don't technically have to air them out or anything like that. And the great thing about corks is that they are a little bit porous, so it's going to be a little bit breathable in there. But yeah, the maintenance is pretty easy. It's mostly just don't store them in sunlight. The moss will last for years. I've been making some basic terrariums for some time. And there's a couple of pairs out there that I made like 5 or 6 years ago that are still looking fabulous today. So as long as you just store them in the right place, they should be fine. If you have them in your studio, make sure that where they're at in the case isn't really experiencing any direct sunlight either. That's something I experienced with this case behind me. It gets a lot of sunlight. So when I have terrariums in there, I have to kind of block them, or I have to put them somewhere else, just so they're not going to die in the sun.
Kayla, Do you give a card out showing like what the maintenance is for these, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, I didn't in the past, but I do now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like before I was just like telling people, but then I realized that that was an issue because you can't just tell people stuff they forget. So yeah, now I have like on my little Uzu Organics card on the back, it says terrarium maintenance. But it's the same with the crochet ones. Like you don't also want to store those in direct sunlight either because the thread isn't really treated for UV. So like if there's even if they're in your case at the studio, like if the sun's hitting them all day, it's going to discolor them. Might mess with the threads a little bit. The stones on them will be fine, but you'll mostly just want to watch the threading.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that's good to know. I would have never thought about that actually.
Well, that makes sense. Sunlight makes sense. Sunlight bleaches a lot of things.
yes,
Like
it does.
everything,
Yeah.
including humans.
So yeah, that's all I really got. I have some more screenshots if people want to see more of my stuff.
Yes, please.
Of course we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do more than terrariums and crochet weights. I also do a little bit of wire wrapping. Not traditional wire wrapping, more kind of like simple. Here's a nice pair that I made. I don't remember who
Ooh,
bought these from me, but that's hematite with 14 karat gold beads.
very pretty.
So yeah, just like kind of some basic like wire, like boho kind of like stuff. You know, the ladies that come into my studio really like that stuff. Oh, come on, share screen again. I've also got, oh, I make styles like this. These are like I call these fish tails.
I remember
Um,
these. These are
they can
gorgeous.
be jumbo, they can be small, and I can put pretty much any type of stone in there, depending on what you're picking out and what I have in stock. I also, oh, my phone wants me to do everything. Oh, I also last year I released this newer design of the crochet weight. They're like jumbo hoops. They're huge. They're like the size of your hand.
Nice.
They're great for stacking too. So if you're wearing like a bunch of gold rings and then you want like a little flare, you can throw in a pair of these too. I definitely want to start making more of those. I only had a handful of them last year. They're super, super cute.
Yeah, those are hot.
Yeah, I like them. I want to do more with the chains. I have been doing more with the chains on the crochet. I these were a design that I started doing last year. The chain with the crochet pieces. I don't know. I just think chains are super cool and they're pretty hot right now. They're like in.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a gold chain. So
They just
I
look great on everyone, you know?
yeah, they just give that little extra fanciness and that you didn't realize you needed. What else do I got on here? Oh, I've got these guys. I was trying to find all the stuff that I saved. These are like kind of wire wrapped, a little bit
Ooh.
different of a design. You know, just I like to experiment a lot and mess around. Like I hate making the same thing twice. I've never really been like I don't know. I've never really been into just making the same thing over and over. So the terrariums are a little different because the glass pieces might all be the same, but the inside is different. Plus, it's a little zen for me to you know just the hole is very small in the back. You know, sometimes as small as like a 4 millimeters. So I have these little special tools that I made to stuff the things in there, and it's very time consuming, and you need a lot of patience. But it's a nice just zen practice, just making
It
like just
is.
putting little plants inside of a piece of glass. It's just very lovely. So each piece is unique. Even the pairs I try to make very similar, but it's not easy making the same thing twice with these. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's what I got.
Terry has such a like it's like couture, right? Like our clients know that it's not just exclusive, but it's like whatever you have, you're the only person wearing that particular design, and that is a huge selling point in my opinion. Like our clients love knowing that our stock changes over and that not everybody in town is going to be wearing the same thing that they're wearing. But it goes especially further with like your earrings and your designs, because you really aren't going to see anybody else wearing that. So
Right. Yeah, and I like that too. Like I've always liked unique earrings and just unique jewelry. I do want to branch into making more necklaces and bracelets. I have been doing a lot more beadwork lately, and I have been making some beaded necklaces that I want to feature at conference next year. So you can get your beaded earrings and your beaded necklaces. I'd really like to
That whole
experiment
fit.
with some
I like it.
like this is going to be insane, but this is an idea that I had recently of doing you know how you get those big thick brass necklaces like the tube. I
mhm.
want to try to maybe do something like that, but with like a terrarium style, just like a big bulky, like just like
Yes,
boom.
like a
Here's a
choker.
huge ass like necklace, and then the chains attached to the back so it can like attach to your neck, but it's just like a big tube, and it's just like a little plant in there. Yeah,
That'd be
I
awesome.
see. I'm blowing April's mind right now.
Are.
I'm gonna buy that for
I
sure.
want to be the one to wear around a terrarium necklace. Ugh.
Of course you
I don't
do.
even know what I don't even know like what I would even charge for something like that. Like I don't think I would make very many if it came to it, but just a few. They would be very exclusive, but
Yeah, get those
like
prices.
to be one of the people that owns it, like I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at April.
It is.
Well, this was super fun. I really appreciate you guys letting me be a part of this. I
Oh,
didn't think my jewelry was cool enough, and apparently I am.
No, it's super cool. Thank you so much for showing us. And I just think it's really, you found your niche, and seeing the piercing community just develop over the years and different people like really taking what they love and morphing it into something that we can all enjoy is such a joy to see. So
I
I'm really
agree.
glad that we had you on here, because it's, having Tawapa and then having you, like this company that has been in the industry for 25 years, and then you who's a piercer and a studio owner, and you've got this really unique thing. Like, I just love the variety that we have coming today, and you are a very important part of that.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Well, I mean, if anyone wants to follow my pages, I don't have a website, but it is just Uzu_Organics on Instagram. I do have a Facebook page as well. I do have Etsy, and you can buy the crochet weights on there. All the ones that you saw in the case earlier are all listed for sale. I also do wholesale and do custom orders, not on the terrariums, but on everything else I do custom orders on. So if you are a studio and you can prove that to me, I can sell wholesale to you. My Etsy store is just Miss Kale or .etsy.com. And you can find all those links on my Instagram and Facebook pages as well. Yeah, thanks.
No, thank you for being on. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it. And it's a shame that we don't get to see your face at conference and give you a big hug this year. But I think this is a great way to showcase some stuff and still get to connect with one another. So I'm really happy you were a part of this.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for doing this. This was a super fun idea. And hopefully I'll see you guys at conference next year. I don't think I'll
Absolutely.
ever hug anyone ever again after all of this, but maybe we can like elbow tap or something.
We'll have a hand signal that we can both do.
Yeah, that's
Like a
fine.
hug thing.
Air high fives.
Yeah.
Right? From across the room. Yeah. Right on. Well, thanks guys. And
Thank
I hope
you. Thank
the
you.
rest of the day goes great.
I'm sure it will.
Bye,
Bye
All
y'all.
right. Have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was incredible. Like, I already know April wants literally everything that Kale makes, so I don't have to ask you
I
what
want
your
everything that
favorite
everybody
was.
makes.
I know. I could definitely see you wearing the terrarium necklace or the terrarium septum piece. Like,
Mhm.
so
I'm a go big or go home kind of person.
it's true. You are.